All right, so are you ready to dive deep into this whole coffee and weight loss thing?
Let's do it.
I'm gonna see if we can unlock the secret to, dropping a few pounds with your daily cup of joe.
Sounds like a plan.
So we got some research here. It looks pretty fascinating.
Yeah, the idea that coffee can actually help with weight loss is pretty intriguing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's more than just that morning boost, you know?
Right, exactly.
There's actually some real science behind it.
Okay, so let's break it down. Like one of the first things I saw, it was talking about caffeine boosting your metabolism.
Right?
Is that legit?
Yeah, it actually is. Caffeine can increase what's called your resting metabolic rate, or RMR.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like, think of your body as a furnace.
Okay.
Caffeine is kind of like throwing another log on that fire. It gets things burning a little hotter.
Oh, okay.
Studies show that this could mean you're burning like anywhere from 3 to 11% more calories,
Yeah.
even when you're just chilling.
Oh, wow. So even if I'm just like, binging Netflix on the couch, my body's still working harder.
Exactly. That's the idea.
That's pretty cool. But I'm guessing, like, how much of a boost you get probably depends on the person, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some people just genetically, their furnaces, we'll call them, are just more efficient.
Okay.
And how your body handles caffeine plays a role too, you know?
So genetics and caffeine tolerance. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what about this whole coffee burns fat thing? I've heard that tossed around a lot.
Right.
Is that just a myth, or is there something to it?
It's not a total myth,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also not quite as simple as coffee, like magically melting fat away.
Okay.
What caffeine does is it triggers the release of adrenaline.
Right?
And adrenaline signals to your fat cells, hey, time to break down and release some energy.
Oh, okay. So that's probably why people love coffee before a workout. Like prepping your fat cells to, be ready to fuel that workout.
Yeah, it gives them a little nudge.
Okay, so it can contribute, but it's not like a miracle fat burner on its own.
I mean, it can help,
Yeah.
but I think the real question is how can we make that fat burning process even more efficient?
Okay, so I see where you're going with this because one of the sources you sent me was all about Javaburn.
Right.
Right? And it's like this product that's supposed to supercharge your coffee for weight loss.
Yeah, that's the claim.
Yeah.
Javaburn is this flavorless powder. You mix it in your coffee, and it's marketed as a way to, like, unlock the full potential of your coffee for weight loss.
So it's not just coffee anymore, it's coffee PLES, this special blend.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. But how does it actually claim to work?
Okay, so they make 4 key claims. Boosting metabolism, burning fat faster,
Okay.
curbing hunger naturally, and giving you calmer, more sustained energy.
Okay, so that first one, boosting metabolism, that sounds familiar, right? We just talked about how coffee can kind of do that on its own. So is Javaburn saying it just like amps up that effect?
Yeah, that's one of the claims for sure. But before we go too deep into the Javaburn specifics, I think it's good to understand how these claims connect to, like, the overall science of coffee and weight loss.
Okay, yeah, good point. We need to see the whole picture.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about appetite suppression because I know, like, I've definitely experienced that. Sometimes a cup of coffee makes me feel less hungry.
Right.
Is that a common thing?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Coffee can suppress ghrelin, which is the hormone that tells your brain, hey, I'm hungry.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, a cup of coffee might actually help you feel fuller longer, and that could mean you eat less throughout the day.
So it's not just burning more, it's potentially eating less in the first place.
Exactly. That's the idea.
So where does Javaburn fit into this?
Well, Javaburn claims to kind of enhance that effect. They say, by combining coffee with these specific ingredients, you suppress your appetite even more.
Oh, okay.
So it's about maximizing the impact of, that daily coffee routine.
Oh, okay. So we've got the metabolism boost, potential fat burning, now this appetite suppression. What was the fourth one again?
The energy boost. You know how sometimes coffee can give you the jitters and then you crash?
Oh, yeah. I've been there. That afternoon slump after the morning coffee rush is not fun.
Right. Well, Javaburn claims to fix that. They use ingredients that promote a steadier energy release.
Oh, okay.
So you get a smoother boost, no jitters, no crash.
Okay, that's a pretty bold claim. I'd love to see how that actually, works out in real life.
Right.
But before we get too far ahead, let's back up. What are these, like, magical ingredients they're using?
Okay, so the source material lists a blend of, chlorogenic acid, green tea extract, chromium, L-carnitine, L-theanine, and a vitamin complex.
Wow, that's quite the list.
Right. It's like they combined all the weight loss buzzwords in one product.
Yeah.
But the idea is that each ingredient is supposed to have specific properties that support those Javaburn claims.
Okay. So I'm definitely going to need you to break that down a little bit. Let's start with chlorogenic acid.
Okay.
What's the deal with that one?
So it's a natural compound. It's actually found in coffee beans already.
Oh.
And it's known to have a positive effect on both fat metabolism and blood sugar levels.
Oh, so it's already in regular coffee. So Javaburn is like capitalizing on that and adding more.
That's the idea.
Okay.
And then they add other ingredients like green tea extract.
Oh, yeah, green tea extract. You hear about that everywhere.
Yeah, right. It's popular for weight loss because it can boost your body's fat oxidation process.
Right. Now, fat oxidation, remind me, that's basically like your body using fat for fuel, right?
Yeah, exactly. And green tea extract makes that process more efficient.
Got it. Okay, so we've got chlorogenic acid, green tea extract, and then there was, what was that third one?
Chromium.
Chromium, right.
That one helps regulate blood sugar levels.
Yeah.
Which is important for managing those cravings. Those cravings that can really derail your weight loss efforts.
Yeah, definitely. So it's like a two-pronged attack, helping you burn fat more efficiently, and fighting off those cravings.
Exactly.
Okay. What about the other ones? L-carnitine, L-theanine. Those sound familiar, but...
Yeah, so L-carnitine is an amino acid. It helps transport fatty acids into your cell's mitochondria.
Okay.
Which is where they get burned for energy. Think of it like a shuttle service for fat.
Okay, I like that analogy. So it's like making sure the fat gets to the right place to be used as fuel.
Exactly, optimizing the whole fat burning process.
Okay.
And then we have L-theanine. It's another amino acid found mostly in tea leaves. And it's known for promoting relaxation, but without making you sleepy.
Ah, okay. So that's where the calm, steady energy claim comes in. They're trying to like counteract the jittery coffee effect.
Exactly, with a calming L-theanine.
Okay, that's clever. And then lastly, the vitamin complex. That's just for like overall health and energy.
Yeah, it's like a general boost.
Okay. So they've got ingredients for metabolism, fat burning, curbing hunger, steady energy. It all sounds amazing on paper. But I gotta ask, is this just really good marketing? Or is there like real science to back up these claims?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And that's what we'll dig into next.
All right, so we've got this long list of ingredients, right?
Right.
And they all have these supposed benefits, but is there really enough evidence to say that, Javaburn actually does what it claims?
Yeah, that's where things get a little tricky. The source that you provided, it's basically a promotional piece for Javaburn.
Okay.
So while they do use some scientific terms, they mentioned some studies, it's important to remember that marketing, it's not always the most reliable source of information.
Yeah, we can't just take their word for it.
Exactly.
So how do we separate the hype from the actual science?
Well, ideally, you would look for independent research studies.
Okay.
Specifically on Javaburn, as a whole product.
Right.
But that can be tough to find, especially for a product that's relatively new on the market.
Okay, so what if we can't find studies on Javaburn itself? What's the next best thing?
Well, you could look at the research behind each individual ingredient.
Okay.
That's a good starting point.
Right.
For example, green tea extract.
Right.
There are a ton of studies on the benefits of green tea extract for weight loss and overall health.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if the individual pieces have some good scientific backing, then that kind of gives the whole product a little bit of credibility, right?
Yeah, to a certain extent. But it's important to remember that just because an ingredient works well on its own, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have the same effect when it's combined in a formula like Javaburn,
Right. So the sum might not be greater than the parts, or even equal, I guess.
Right. We don't know for sure how those ingredients interact, with each other, or even with the coffee itself.
So even if the ingredients seem promising on their own, there's no guarantee they're going to work the same magic in Javaburn.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's why, it's important to be cautious with these kinds of claims.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, especially when you see, testimonials and before and after photos.
Yeah, the marketing can be really persuasive. So what's your advice for our listener? What should they do before, they jump on the Javaburn bandwagon?
Well, I always recommend a healthy dose of skepticism when it comes to, weight loss products in general.
Okay.
Do your research.
Okay.
Look for independent reviews. Don't be afraid to ask critical questions.
That's good advice. What about talking to a doctor or registered dietitian? Would they be able to provide some insight?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they can offer personalized advice based on, your individual health history, your goals, any potential risks,
Right.
or maybe even interactions with other medications that you're taking.
Okay, so consult a healthcare professional. That's good to keep in mind.
Hmm.
Always better to be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to health, right?
Right.
So let's zoom out for a sec. Even without Javaburn or any other supplements, I mean, we've already established that coffee itself has some weight loss benefits.
All right. Exactly.
So that morning cup of joe, it can actually be a helpful tool,
Yeah, for sure.
even without any fancy additions.
Yeah, I mean, it's really about understanding how coffee works and then making smart choices about how you incorporate it into your lifestyle.
So that brings up an interesting point. I mean, we've been talking a lot about the science behind coffee and weight loss, but what about the practical side of things? What are some things our listener can do to, really maximize the benefits of their coffee routine?
That's a great question. It's one thing to understand the science, but it's another to know how to actually apply it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move beyond the theoretical and get into the actual tips and tricks for making coffee work for you, not against you when it comes to weight loss. All right, so practical stuff. What can our listener actually do to make their coffee routine help them lose weight?
Well, one of the easiest things, honestly, is to just think about what you're adding to your coffee.
You mean all the syrups and cream and stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All those extras, they turn a healthy cup of coffee into, a calorie bomb.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, a big latte with whipped cream and syrup could have as many calories as a piece of cake.
Yikes. This is not what we're going for.
Right. So healthier swaps. The simplest one is just switch to black coffee.
Just plain black coffee.
Yeah. It might take some getting used to, but your taste buds adjust.
Yeah.
Honestly. If you really need it sweet, try a natural sweetener like stevia or monk fruit.
Okay.
Way fewer calories, and they won't spike your blood sugar like regular sugar.
Makes sense. And I've heard cinnamon can be good too, right?
Oh yeah, cinnamon's great, adds nice flavor, and it can even help regulate your blood sugar a bit. Another thing is the milk.
Oh, right.
Instead of full-fat dairy, try unsweetened almond milk or oat milk.
Okay, so black coffee, natural sweeteners, sprinkle of cinnamon, non-dairy milk. Easy enough. What else?
Timing matters too. Don't drink coffee too late in the day.
Oh, yeah, the whole sleep thing, right.
Exactly. Bad sleep makes it harder to lose weight. Messes with your hormones, makes you crave junk food.
So when should you stop drinking coffee?
It depends on the person, but in general, cut yourself off by lunchtime. Gives your body time to process the caffeine before bed.
Okay, good to know. Now, what about drinking it before a workout? We talked about how caffeine can help burn fat.
Yeah, it can definitely give you more energy for your workout, help you push harder.
Right.
Just make sure you're drinking plenty of water too, stay hydrated.
Yeah. Always good advice, especially when you're working out hard. So got some practical tips. Any last thoughts for our listener before we finish up this deep dive?
Just remember, coffee is just one part of the whole weight loss equation.
Right.
It's not some magic solution, but it can be a useful tool if you use it right. Combine it with a balanced diet, exercise, managing your stress. That's how you'll really see results.
It's about the big picture, not just one thing. Coffee can give you a little boost, but it's the whole lifestyle that matters.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've given our listener a lot to think about today. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure. It's always fun to look at the science behind everyday stuff like coffee.
And it's amazing how much there is to learn about something we drink every day. To our listener, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into coffee and weight loss. Keep those questions coming and keep exploring the connections between, science and your daily life. Until next time.